Sir, but it's not my time.
They'll be in charge. You just have to.
3 minutes.
We do the outside siding.
Yeah.
So please all give everybody started.
Good evening. I'd like to call the Maysville Board of Commissioners to order Thursday, December 12th. We will begin with invocation, Reverend Burton.
Heavenly Father, God, we thank you for this day that you have given us. God, we thank you for many blessings that you have poured out on this city and God, and our families. Lord, we just pray in this season of Christmas, God, that we would be cheerful, that we would be giving, and that we would seek what is good and right. God, we pray your blessings on our elected officials and our administrators. God, just blessings on their families. God, be with this meeting tonight. God, may we seek to do what is right, what is good for the citizens of this great community. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Burton. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Cartwell?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood?
Here.
Commissioner McKay?
Here.
Mayor Cotterill?
Yes, ma'am.
City Manager Wallingford?
Here.
City Attorney Cottle?
Here.
HR Director Rose?
Here.
Project Coordinator Horde?
Here.
Public Works Director King? Police Chief Palmer?
Conley's governor.
Fire Chief Carpenter?
Here.
Utility Manager Spence?
Here.
Zoning Administrator Larger?
Here.
Building Inspector Fawcett?
Here.
Codes Officer Brooks?
Here.
Tourism Director Bailey?
Here.
Main Street Director Reese?
Here. Thank you, and I believe I saw County Commissioner Mr. Joe McKay come in. Welcome, sir. Minutes for November 14th, 2024 meeting and department reports.
Mayor, I move that we accept
And
as
I'll
presented.
second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Cartwell?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes.
Mayor Cotterill?
Yes, ma'am. Public announcements.
Caroline?
I would like to thank everybody that took the time to come to the parade last weekend. I think it was the biggest one we had, and thanks especially to all the work that the police had to do for it, the fire had to do for it, Public Works had to do for it, because it's a lot of coordination, so thank you to all of you. And then another city thing that we're having an event at the end of the month, the weekend before Christmas, we're going to have ice skating downtown, and some people are excited about that, and that will take a lot of work from people in here too. So we look forward to that.
And that is at the
That's at the
Lewis
Lewis
and
and Clark Pavilion. Yep, that's at the Lewis and Clark Pavilion. Lots of things going on Christmas-like downtown. There's a jingle jog on Saturday. FCCLA does that. It's a Wonderful Life runs at the Opera House, the Maysville Players, from tonight until Sunday. The Limestone Corral's 30th anniversary concert is Sunday at the Presbyterian Church at 3 o'clock. Don't ever say there's nothing to do here in Maysville. And we have the trolley tours starting this evening, the Polar Express trolley tours.
And what were the dates? Is it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on the skating?
The skating, yes, it'll be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the 20th, 21st, and 22nd.
Thank you. Any other announcements?
Mayor, if I can lead, if you don't mind, if I can lead into the public comment. Right at the end of November, we had a water main break on East Second Street, right at the intersection with Union Street.
Matt, I'm going to recuse myself and sit over during this discussion.
Sure. We had a break there, at the intersection of East Second and Union Street, right at the start of the 800 block. I think it was on the 29th or the 30th. This break caused water to go into the basement of 8 properties on the south side in the even block of 800. Darren contacted our insurance carrier, who then contacted the adjuster who works with the League of Cities, and they denied all 8 claims. That the city would not be, our insurance would not be paying for it. Luckily, thank you, Commissioner McKay, for reminding me that there was a break in the exact same spot in February of this year. So I took that information from Darren, and then I also gathered information from the past 5 years for breaks that have occurred and interrupted service anywhere between the 700 and the 900 block of East 2nd Street. And I have passed that along to the adjuster who I work with on most claims, and she is looking into that right now to see if they can overturn the initial denial. My question to the 4 of you would be, if that doesn't happen, would you be willing to compensate these individuals, these 8 property owners?
So how bad was their damage? I mean, what was the
Peggy,
damage?
you wanna tell how bad yours was?
My name's Paula.
Paul, I'm sorry,
Paula.
Paul. I'm sorry.
I lost a lot. It came to almost $7,000 out of my basement.
Really?
I got pictures and I tried to take a video. It went to my 3rd step in my basement. They said my hot water tank's gone. I had 2 dryers, washer.
Wow.
I mean, I've lived there 16 years, so there was a lot. I don't know.
Sorry, Paula. One individual, furnace guy.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, the furnace,
Yeah.
so far I had a guy with
Yeah, I
the
think yours
furnace.
was okay.
And he said he's pretty sure it's okay, but he said my hot water tank and all that shot.
Commissioner.
But did he say how long it would take to hear back, if they would overturn it?
I have a feeling I'll hear back fairly quickly.
Okay, and then how would that work? Would they file claims and they get checks from the insurance, or?
They would, yes, somebody would come out and somebody would assess all that, and then it's through insurance, yes.
Okay.
But the estimate that I have received from our local agent is possibly somewhere in the range of $35,000 to $40,000 to compensate the individuals who had damage.
So I don't think we should pink around with this because she's without a washer and dryer, right? Some guys without a furnace. So I think they're gonna have to give you a determination what they're gonna do.
Sure.
So we'll know what to do.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Well, I'm
what
just
I'm asking
saying,
you
so
all
we
is-
can do what we have to do.
Right,
I should
correct.
That's
rephrase
what he's
that.
saying.
That's what I'm saying. I'm asking
Yes,
the 4
I
of
get it.
you if you would be willing to
Yes,
compensate.
Yes,
Is that a motion?
I'll make that
Thank you,
motion,
thank you,
yes.
Commissioner.
Second.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'll-
So, I mean, are we
for
saying that,
discussion, go
are we
ahead.
saying that this is the city's fault, therefore we owe them money? Because
That's-
people are supposed to have their own homeowners insurance to cover things like flood.
That depends if they have that policy with their insurance, though,
Yeah.
Commissioner. That's my understanding. If that policy is not part of their overall policy, it would not cover
So,
that. Go
Can I
ahead.
interject?
Yeah, sure.
If insurance doesn't cover and if the city, decides to compensate, I would suggest that you allow me to prepare a release wherein we would deny any liability on our behalf, but nevertheless pay the claim and
And Andrew, the claim is gonna, we'll work closely with our insurance company and the adjuster on what, and no disrespect, Paula, to you, but whatever Paula had that was damaged, somebody's gonna have to assess that.
Right, right.
And determine, here is the market value for replacement.
Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly open to that, especially if it was our fault to begin with. I mean,
Sure.
it's one thing for a 100-year-old pipe to break, but if you repair it and then it breaks in the same place.
Correct, and this was, where's Darren? It was the exact same place, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's the same piece of pipe.
10 months apart.
Right, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
open to that.
Okay, I'll work, and I'll be glad to work with Kelly on that. Do you have a motion?
Yes.
Okay, so you got a first and a second. Mayor Pro Tem, you wanna call for a vote?
Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes, ma'am,
Commissioner
absolutely.
Cartwell?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
But I think we need to stay on top of it.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
These
And
people-
I asked her for, what she needed on Monday, and I just heard back from, and I sent her what I felt like she needed. She asked for a couple more things, this afternoon, so I'm hoping maybe to know something tomorrow.
Yeah, or no, you should check on it Monday.
Oh, I
if we
will.
don't.
Oh, I'll stay on.
All right, thank you.
Thank you all.
Any other, public comment?
Well, I
Yes.
just, not a comment, what about Maysville Water? What was the deal this weekend? They didn't have water.
Please look water.
Yeah,
Yeah, we had the break down there on the bottom of 11. They fixed the leak. They went to turn it back on. The valve broke. We took the top off and had to pry the gate out of it in order to be able to flow water to the pump station.
Does that happen a lot? Cause it sounded like it.
No, that normally doesn't happen. The valve normally doesn't break, but it's been operated so many times. It's made out of brass, the shaft is. And normally, when you take off that plate, you have a little bit you can actually get a chain on and jerk it up out of there. It was broke flush with the stinking gate.
Commissioner, we've had a lot of issues in that section of 11, and so Darren is working on getting a quote to replace, 400 or 500 feet of pipe. In fact, one of the contractors who works on our pumps came in and was looking at the pipe underneath, and he feels like the soil is actually, it's corrosive in there, causing some issues.
But Darren, that stretches ductile iron, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
8-inch ductile iron.
Yeah, what would you replace it with?
Probably C900 plastic pipe.
Okay.
It's just another form of thicker plastic it's probably good up to 300 pounds pressure. And it's the only, the pressure there is right around 200, so
And you have no ductile iron left, do you?
not 8-inch, no.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I appreciate the fellas going out at night and whatever time it is and working on this, as
Thank
cold as it was too.
Thank you.
But you can't fill the tower now, can you?
No, the tower's still being painted up.
But you've got the booster pump station out
Right.
there.
It's working off a VFD that's keeping pressure in the line out in Maysville.
Okay. Any idea when that'll be done?
I'd say within the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
Because right now, the inside, I think, is completely finished, and they put the primer on the outside. So it should be fairly within the next couple of weeks.
Well, they're talking about the pressure, so is that what you're talking about, the pressure from, they don't have pressure or the water, or that?
Right, it's from that pump, because we don't have any head pressure to push it down, so we have to, depend on the VFD for, the pump station to keep pressure into the line. Because it's like instead of operating on, level, it's operating on pressure. Once it drops down to 140 pounds, it kicks back up and shoots it back up to 150. And then it'll slow back down, and then it'll drop back down and speed up again.
So is it temporarily fixed?
Yes,
Is that what you're
that's a
saying?
temporary right now.
Okay, thanks, Darren.
You're welcome.
Yes,
I just want to propose that the city look into a more effective system of notification when there's a boil water advisory. And I think Facebook and maybe the radio isn't reaching everybody. Maybe we could look into a text
Don't we have that
notification, like
Yeah.
the
alert?
way that we do weather alerts.
Do you have,
We do that.
Gwendolyn, do
Tony
you have,
has the
Tony,
alert.
Tony, go ahead, Gwendolyn, Tony can answer your question right there.
Every time a water main break takes place, everybody that's signed up for regular alerts receives that message. Darren and the utility company sends that out. I get copies of that, get emails, so I just got a notification, so, we do have that in place.
How many people are signed up for that?
7,000.
How do you go about getting signed up for that?
We have posters and things out on Facebook for people to sign up.
What's the Facebook page that I can find that on?
I put it on my Facebook page randomly,
Your
so.
personal Facebook page?
No, Mason County Emergency Management. And Tony, if you want, if you'll remind me to throw it out there, and I'll throw it on the cities again, just to remind
Yes.
folks that, we've had this 3 years, 4 years? Before?
Yeah,
It's
I
right
mean,
when
it's
It's at the
phenomenal.
top of the city's websites.
Yeah.
Mason
Is it still at the top, Lisa?
Could I get the weather
No.
alerts? I don't.
Yeah, Gwen, you can sign up
It
to
is
get
Yeah.
all alerts.
It is on the emergency management page, but we've had Georgia's stuff
Okay, oh, for the comp plan. Yeah. Okay, you're welcome.
Any other public comment? Appointment Assistant Utility Manager.
Have a memorandum from the utility manager Spence. The utility department currently has a vacancy for the assistant utility manager. The assistant utility manager is responsible for managing all aspects of the day-to-day operations and maintenance of our municipal water and wastewater treatment plants, plant laboratories, capital projects, and other duties. Jeffrey Gobb has maintained a good working career working for himself and other companies. Jeffrey's past work experience will help him to exceed as assistant utility manager, and he has met all hiring requirements for the city of Maysville. I respectfully ask that Jeffrey Gobb be appointed to the position of assistant utility manager. I feel he will be an excellent addition to the city of Maysville and the utility department.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Cartmel?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes.
Mayor Cottrell?
Yes, ma'am. Jeffrey, would
Jeff?
you want to come up? and say-
Congratulations to you.
Come up and
Yeah, so my name is Jeff Goff. I'm super excited for this opportunity, and thank you guys so much for the commissioners, the mayor, Matt, Darren. I look forward to working with all of you, building a good relationship, and continuing excellence of service for everybody. So yeah, thank you guys so much for this
You're
opportunity.
welcome.
I will
Thank
work
you.
hard
Welcome
for
to our
Thank
team.
you.
Appointments, Board of Architectural Review, Pam Stewart, to expire 12/31/25. Main Street Board, reappointment of David Green, Eileen Calvert, and Bradley Day, and the appointment of Dennis McKay. These expire on 12/31/26. And Planning Commission, Michael Parker, to expire 7/31/28.
I'll make that motion, please.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes.
Commissioner Cartmel?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, but I'm staying on that McKay fellow. If you
Mayor
don't mind.
Cottrell?
He's a good one. He's up there with St. Joe back there.
Yes, ma'am. If you said, thank you. Appreciate all of their willingness to serve. And now we have an update from the Maysville Housing Authority from our chairman, Mr. Lamont Johnson. Lamont, would you come up this way, please?
I would like to thank everyone for having me here, except for one person. The last 2 to 3 years, I've been on the housing board, serving as a commissioner, now as the chairman. We have been really working hard with the residents. We've been working hard with the administration of getting correct people in the correct spots to make sure that the residents are taken care of safely. So I'm here tonight to let you guys know the past month or later, the housing was rated a high performer by the HUD in Frankfurt. So there was 2 areas. One was the housing program, which that deals with your financial, your capital funds. We was 91 out of 100 on that scoring. So that's pretty good. I have learned from Peter that this has never been something rewarded to our housing. So that's very impressive, and I thought that.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I think tonight. Also, the Housing Choice Voucher Program. That is our Section 8 program. We are now giving out, I guess over time, 100 vouchers to homeowners in Maysville. I think that's at the highest it's ever been, so that was the second high performance that we received. We also we have learned, the mayor serves on there with me, that we have a turnover that has been quicker than ever. So what that means is when one apartment goes empty, the turnover is not as long as it has been. So again, with changes made by the commission, changes made by the admin team, We are getting things done in a timely fashion so we can serve the people of Maysville. So as I said, all of this reflects back on the administration team and the staff at the Housing Authority. But also I'd like to pat the mayor and my other three commissioners on the back for working with me, listen to me whine and cry about different things. But we got a lot more coming. One thing that we do have coming, there was property purchased, 5 or 6 years ago on Clark Street. We are now working with Frontier and Tom to find the best way to get some new and modern day apartments built, because all our properties are over 70 years old. So we're trying to get everything we can fixed and up and ready for our residents. So hopefully, maybe 4 or 5 years, if I'm still on there, I'll come back and let you guys know that it's been built and we're up and going. So thank you guys.
Lamont, I would take a ride through the city, and I do go back through the housing, and it probably looks better to me than it's ever looked.
So that's
I mean, everything looks so clean, and it looks spectacular.
thank you. Thank you. We're
You're
gonna
doing a good
continue.
job.
Thank you. No problem. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Lamont.
Uh-huh.
And Lamont didn't toot his own horn, but a lot of that is due to his leadership and guidance, and I appreciate, he puts a lot of time and effort in on, beyond showing up for the meetings, so I appreciate that, Lamont. Thank you for coming and sharing that tonight. Discussion, employee compensation.
Mayor and Commissioners, as we discussed last month, Joseph had ran numbers through October and wanted to come back and give you numbers through November in regard to a potential 3% across-the-board employee raise that was discussed back in the summer. If you'll turn, I'll be real brief here. If you'll turn to the very last page of this document that I put in your mailbox, I tried to simplify it for myself as well as anybody else. But if you look at that number 1, that's the total payroll from July through November. So that's an actual number. Number 2 is the calculated average payroll per pay period. So obviously the month of December has not been calculated, but that average is what that would be, about $950,000 total. Number 3 is the projected payroll from January through June of 25. Number 5 is the projected payroll with a 3% raise to employees. And that 3% increase would add $182,000 on. So if you look at total projected payroll, which is number 6, that includes a 3%. And then number 7 is the budgeted payroll, which is what we budgeted for fiscal year 25. So we would actually be under the budgeted payroll for fiscal year 25 with that raise. Now, in all transparency, $182,000 is $182,000 onto the deficit, a potential deficit, obviously. But payroll, as it would be, would still be in the black at the end of the year. So I think those are the numbers that everybody was looking for.
Matt, does that reflect a pension liability?
Yes, of that 182,000, about 2/3 of it, a little more than 2/3, about 125,000 is wages. The rest of it is insurance and pension, insurance and retirement. Excuse me.
Questions, comments?
Pat, I was
Yes, ma'am.
thinking, because that wasn't a couple of those meetings, but I zoomed them. Did we ever discuss, and I think that we did, that maybe the people who aren't making as much, to raise them up?
I think that was Commissioner Cartmell's proposal originally was to, I think it was across the board $5,000. Does that sound right?
$3,000.
3,000. Excuse me. That was a proposal that was discussed and then I think voted down, and then Commissioner McKay had a proposal, and I believe that was accepted.
So I mean, what I'm talking
Yeah.
about is the 3% for people who make less than 60,000.
Is that what it's for?
No, that,
Oh.
3% that make for less than $60,000.
So you're saying 3% for anybody who makes $60,000 or less?
Is that what you're proposing?
Yes,
Well,
I think it would bring the people who get out and,
Right. I know,
bring them
yeah,
up.
sure, I understand that, but I'm gonna provide the same argument that I made back in June, is that you have people making over 60,000 who work their hind ends off too. And I know you're not saying
I'm not
that,
saying
but my feeling is they're just as deserving with the responsibilities that Chief Carpenter, Chief Palmer, they're overseeing 26 sworn officers.
Oh, I'm not saying that at all.
And I
I'm
understand
just
that.
saying.
I'm just saying in
But
all
I
fairness.
also did understand in that meeting.
Sure.
That that's who they were fighting for as well, was those people.
Sure they are, of course he is,
They're-
he's fighting for
yeah.
his crew, and
And
my job is
every
to fight for
department-
everybody.
Yeah,
Every department head.
But
did
Matt,
that.
there's a mechanism for you to take care of them with our approval.
No, there's not. The only mechanism that, there has to be a qualifying event. In other words, somebody gets a license, or somebody moves up in classification, something that qualifies them. I can't just go in there and say,
That's a mechanism.
yeah, that's a mechanism, and that's what you all wanted, and
Yeah.
I've been giving you all that information as we go through
Okay.
and being transparent with you. I can't just go in tomorrow and say, Chief, here's 5%, have at it. Can't. I'm abiding by your wishes.
It seems like the reason that so what we did was we split the race, right? We said, we'll give a smaller one now, and then we'll look at it in 6 months and see if
Right.
we're gonna go broke.
Because I think I came to you with 9.5% is what I came to you with. The compromise was 5 to start July 1st, and then revisit the numbers at the end of the calendar year for a potential 3% for the second half of the year.
And again, the reason that it's that much is that raises were basically not allowed for, was it 3 years, or how many years was it?
Well, that was years ago. I mean, that was probably 10 years ago, 10 or 12 years ago.
Well, no, I mean during COVID, we also,
Oh.
didn't we
That was
also
just
stop?
1 year, 1 year.
Yeah, I
during
think,
COVID.
yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, I'd have to go back and look. I believe you're correct. Yeah.
I don't want to spend another
I don't either.
4 hours.
I don't
on that.
either.
Yeah, Tom.
But I'm comfortable with what we did in the budget. I don't mind. I like Ann's proposal. You know, let's lift the ones at the bottom, and live to fight another day. That's just how I feel.
Sure.
I would like to add to that, and this is not necessarily my thought, but I remember it from that meeting where when you talk about those years that were skipped a while ago, and then those are the ones that have been here and who have worked their way up, and then you're really pushing them off. Like, you know, if they get offered a lot more money to move on, you know, if that was me, I'd feel like, well, commission doesn't appreciate me. I can go find something somewhere else. And I think by doing that, we're running off our folks with expertise and with experience. And that depletes the human resource that we have built up over the years.
Matt, this figure,
Yes, ma'am.
when the budget started for 24.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you put the 9.5% raise in those figures? Or did you just do
No.
the 5%?
5. It was just 5. Yeah. And what you have to think about, Commissioner, is when you look at that, if you want to call it if it would be a surplus at the end of the year, just in payroll, you got to understand, we haven't had an assistant utility manager for 6 months. We haven't had 4 police officers for 4 months now. Public Works and utilities have not been completely full for the whole time. So you start whittling into that $467,000. That's where your
that
gap is.
figure.
Yeah, that's where your gap is coming from.
So if we had all those people, it would be higher.
Possibly, yes, ma'am. Yeah, that's where that gap's coming from. So even with a 3% across the board, you still have $467,000 left in payroll as a cushion,
Beyond, after.
after a 3%. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Matt,
Yes, sir.
what, just for this year, won't we have a significantly less payroll tax here?
I mean, again, David, that's purely a projection. When we're going through the budget process, we're looking at previous years and projecting, you know, here's what we think this is gonna be. And that's what a budget is. It's, you know, it's a projection. It's rarely gonna end the way it starts, good or bad.
Well, I want to make it perfectly clear.
Sure.
I'm not saying that.
Well, I understand.
And
I'm just
please-
making a counter
I
claim against
understand,
it.
but
Sure.
I am not saying that
I
at
understand
all.
that, yeah.
Because
I just feel
our
like,
departments won't be as
I
good,
understand.
and I understand that, as
Sure.
good as what they are.
I
But
just,
it was just to raise the people who really needed a bigger bump.
sure, and I appreciate that, but I just feel like the others have earned it as well.
I'm not, and that's what I'm not saying.
I understand, but
I- I
feel
don't
like,
know.
Need to
yeah.
make a motion to approve the 3% or?
However,
She made it.
however you guys wanna do it.
I mean, I'd like to go ahead and make that motion that we increase salaries by 3% across the board for the remainder of,
And I'll
and
second
I
it.
think that's 3% from last year, not 3% after.
No,
5.5%.
she had a proposal on.
Oh, yeah, if you have a,
I
yeah,
have.
you,
I mean, it makes it 8% total, 5% back starting in July.
Sure.
and
She had a
8%
proposal
starting.
on the floor.
did you, what,
Well,
I'm
didn't-
sorry, I didn't know if it was a motion or if that's what,
I think she had a motion.
okay,
Did she say motion?
yeah, okay. Oh, sorry, Andrew, we had a motion
I
here.
think I
Well,
said,
Neither one's been seconded though, I don't think.
Right,
I think I said but you said is that a motion? I think I said yes.
that was on the, that was
Yeah.
on the flooding, sorry.
No one.
Yeah, I said, is that a motion?
Did you second it?
No.
I didn't
Do you?
hear a motion.
Yeah, Commissioner
I have made a
Brammer is,
motion
Okay.
go ahead, go
to
ahead,
give
Andrew.
people under $60,000 a 3% raise. But I want to clarify that it's not saying anything detrimental about ours. You can laugh about that, but I'm not doing it. Okay, go ahead.
Victor, did you second?
I didn't, but I will. I think it's fair.
And discussion.
Yeah.
I'll tell you all, I still prefer the $3,000, but I will vote for this because
Are you saying you're saying for
Wait a minute.
everybody?
for whatever you said.
was saying across the board.
Right.
Are y'all voting on limited to employees?
That was, yeah, she's saying that was, yes.
I just want y'all
Yes,
to-
yes,
Right.
right. I wrote it down on mine.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I got it, 3% raise for those making $60,000 or less.
And Victor seconded, right?
Yes, correct.
Roll call.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes.
Commissioner Cartwell?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood?
Well, I'm gonna say no, and then I'm gonna renew my motion for an across-the-board 3% raise.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes.
Mayor Cottrell?
No.
Next item.
Ordinance amendments.
Yes, we talked, I think back in August about going through and updating our code of ordinances. And I've given you some information. Now, please take heed that two of these take up the majority of this. But I wanted to go on and get you the information, get you looking at it, to see if you have any questions. We're not acting on anything tonight. I want to give you plenty of time to go through this, and if I have some others, I will get them to you as soon as I can, and then we'll eventually sit down and go through all of them.
Actually, how many ordinances are you saying in this, your amendment,
And this one,
in this whole package?
oh, this whole packet, there's probably 8 to 10. And I'm continuing to look, Commissioner, and if I get some more, I'll pass them
That's
along
okay,
to you.
that's okay.
And then we'll take time, as you all get time to read through these, we'll schedule at another meeting, just to discuss, and then we'll eventually come for an actual amendment. Thank you.
So you're just gonna leave that?
Yeah,
for
I
them
just to
read?
give you a little
Okay.
bit of information, we'll come back later on and have a discussion.
All right. Holiday cleanup dates?
I know I had mentioned to you all in my email memo about doing it right through the holidays, and talking with Luke and Kyle a little more. Luke would like to suggest January 3rd through the 17th, because that way we obviously have employees who are working every day. You know, nobody gets disrupted with the Christmas and New Year's holiday schedule.
Third through the what?
17.
17th, 2 weeks, the 3rd through the 17th. We'll do appliances at Public Works, appliances on the avenue. And the dumpsters will be set out in their normal location. And we'll get that word out on Facebook. Those dates sound good with everybody, 3rd through the
That's fine.
17th? Okay. You got that? Okay.
Requests for proposals for the Cox Building space?
As we discussed last month, obviously the culinary school is ending their lease on June 30th of 25, so that space is then going to be open. I told you that I'd be discussing an RF, doing a request for proposal for the space, so I think David and Caroline and I sat down 2 or 3 times and brainstormed and went through it. So has everybody had a chance to read this RFP? Okay. Comments, questions, changes, because I would really love to get this thing advertised by the end of the year and let it be out there for 30 days so we can see what kind of prospective businesses we might be able to get in there.
It looked okay to me.
Yeah, it did me too.
Okay.
I'm anxious to get that.
I think we all are. We're out there.
That was missed
And don't
this
get me wrong, we are very appreciative of the college for what they did and being in there,
Yes.
but this thing has so much potential. So much potential. And, you know, we've been talking about it forever. Did you see anything in here that stood out?
No, who
Okay.
will be approving the menu? You all?
Be approving the
The menu
what?
and prices and,
No,
No.
no,
okay,
no.
No.
just samples
Yeah.
of what they'll be
If
serving?
they do samples, we will call you.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
we
like
just
it.
kind of wanted to know what they might be serving.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
it covers
Okay.
everything.
Thank you.
There we go? Okay. All right, then let's finalize this and get it done here in the next 10 days.
Set a date for the Syndidia.
Synadia. It's pronounced Synadia in Latin.
Sign it down.
All right, country. How does December 30th look? Does that look good? Does that look okay for everybody?
I don't have my calendar, I don't think I have.
Well,
it.
let's if that could be okay, let's start with that, and then everybody can get back with me. And
December 30th?
yes,
December 30th.
December 30th.
What time?
No,
Whatever you all would like to do.
I'm open.
not for me.
You open?
or-
I'm open.
Okay.
So what
Okay.
anybody else? I'm
Okay.
Okay.
I have an appointment, but it shouldn't
You wanna
take
get back
long.
with me?
Let me just,
That's fine.
I thought I put it in my phone.
That's fine. Just get back with me, and then I'll communicate with the 5 of you. So let's temporarily shoot for December 30th.
Will it matter that I won't be here?
So I'm sorry, you said you won't be here. Excuse
Yes,
me,
I'll be
I'm
here.
so sorry. I thought you said that was good. Okay. It has to be before January 1st, doesn't it? Let me get my calendar back out. I'm sorry.
Yes,
Was the
I
mayor
am.
up for election this year? Did she?
No, but she was not.
Is it to take a oath?
Yes,
Um,
she was not.
I can get her to sign an oath prior to that meeting.
But I mean, she wasn't. She's kind of still. She's a
still
4-year
serving-
term.
she's
She's
serving her
still.
term.
She's still within her term. Yeah.
I think she's fine, but if we wanna be overkill, I can still prepare something for you to sign.
What
Can we
what
do
days
it
are you gonna
tonight?
be done?
No. We want to do it closer to. We want to do it closer to the start of the calendar year.
I could do it on the evening of the 27th.
4:30.
Mhm.
That's my birthday. That's okay.
Well, then you can go out for drinks
Yeah,
afterwards.
yeah, you don't have a party.
I threw myself a parade.
How about 4 o'clock on the
That's-
27th?
That's fine, that's fine.
December 30th.
4 o'clock on the 27th?
How's that? Is that okay?
What day
Andrew?
is that?
That's a
Friday.
Friday.
So what are we saying, December
You
27th?
want to check?
What's that?
Friday the 27th at
What
4
time?
o'clock?
That'd be
4
fine.
Is that good? Okay,
Have my cake ready
we can do that. Friday the 27th,
at 4 o'clock.
12, 27.
Is it
How are
Tuesday?
you on
Yeah.
that day?
See, you had to
Okay,
pick
you okay?
Ann's.
Okay, good.
You had to pick Ann's birthday. Mine's on the 30th.
Well, you know, I
Can we
try.
Can we do it again on the 30th?
If you want.
Okay.
All right, thank you all.
Resolution authorizing rehiring of retired police officer 24-79.
Resolution authorizing rehiring a retired police officer. Be it resolved by the city of Maysville, Kentucky, that the mayor is hereby authorized and directed to execute the contract for rehire with retired officer Chris Neal for full-time for a period of 1 year effective December 1st, 2024 through November 30th, 2025.
So moved.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes,
Commissioner Cartwell?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Cottrell?
Yes, ma'am. Resolution authorizing contract with Rumpke 24-80.
Resolution authorizing addendum to contract with Rumpke for solid waste collection. Be it resolved by the city of Maysville, Kentucky, that the mayor is hereby authorized and directed to execute an addendum to the existing contract, adjusting the solid waste collection fee to $16.63 per unit for the term January 1, 2025 to December 31, 2025, with an automatic renewal at the rate of $17.71 per unit for the term January 1, 2026 to December 31, 2026. Rumpke will pay the city a 1% franchise fee of gross billing of commercial customers. All other terms and conditions of the original contract dated November 26, 2018 shall remain unchanged.
Can I add one addition to that? And do you tell me whether or not it needs to be in the actual resolution? That you mentioned the contract shall automatically renew for an additional 1 year term. But in the actual addendum, unless either party terminates the contract by giving written notice of its intention not to renew 30 days prior to the end of the term. I guess my question, Kelly, does that need to be in the resolution? It's in the addendum.
It's in the
Okay,
contract.
that's all I
It's
need, okay.
Thank you.
Yep, no
That's what
problem.
I was gonna ask.
Yeah,
Make sure it's in there.
It's in there.
And that increase mainly reflects does that reflect the fact that they'll be picking up recycling or?
No, that mainly reflects the tipping fee increase at the Maysville Mason County landfill, which went from $23 a ton to $30 a ton. Hadn't been changed in 40+ years. That's really where the price comes from.
But this
Is the
gives us
judge
time.
out there? Or is it? Okay, do y'all, is the county planning to raise that again, Joe, or do you know? I know, but I mean, we're,
Well, they just did it. I can't imagine, David.
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. Vic, you want to say that?
But this,
Sorry, Joe.
If you check around, we're still a heck of a lot cheaper
oh, yeah.
than surrounding counties.
We're lucky to have a landfill.
Well, we own our own landfill. That's, you know.
Not speaking on behalf of.
You're fine, you're fine. Vic?
We're on the plant, my brother Victor and I, we're on that, landfill.
That's a sketchy committee.
looks good out there.
Yeah. Thanks, brother Victor.
It looks good.
So
Landfill
you all
looks
are in
better than it
control
ever
of
has.
everything.
Did you have a question?
Yeah, well, this gives us,
Get you out of the way, we will.
well, whenever he's finished talking.
Go ahead.
Has he yielded the floor yet?
I think so.
This, I mean, the only reason I like the option, because we are talking with Owen. And we're hoping to put something together and bring to you, the landfill committee. I mean, he says it's doable, where the county can take it over at no more than $11 and include curbside recycling. And that way we would control it. We wouldn't be, and I'm not saying anything bad about Rumpke.
Sure.
But we would control the
Understood.
prices, and the tipping fees would be waived and things like that. So I just want to let people know that this isn't set, I mean, even though we are committed, because we have to get
Yeah,
the
we gotta
garbage has to
provide
be
a
picked
service,
up.
yeah.
We do have an option to opt out if we can come to some sort of agreement with the county.
You
Sounds
think
good.
that'll be soon?
I'm hoping in 2025, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Good.
I mean, just talking to him, I think it'd be great. It'd
We
be great.
haven't had a motion yet, have we?
Is there a motion? I'm sorry.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, thank you, Andrew. Second? Is there a second, anybody?
I'll go ahead and second
Okay.
it. I hate to do that.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer?
I'm thinking. Yeah,
Commissioner Cartwell?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes.
Mayor Cottrell?
Yes, ma'am. Resolutions authorizing lease with the Commonwealth of Kentucky for Health and Family Services, 24-81.
Resolution authorizing lease with Commonwealth of Kentucky Cabinet for Health and Family Services, be it resolved by the City of Maysville, Kentucky, that the mayor is hereby authorized and directed to execute a lease renewal agreement with the Commonwealth of Kentucky Cabinet for Health and Family Services at 201 Government Street, Maysville, Kentucky.
So moved.
second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes,
Commissioner Cartwell?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes.
Mayor Cottrell?
Yes, ma'am. Resolution authorizing the lease with the Commonwealth of Kentucky for the Department of Workforce Investment, 24-82.
Resolution authorizing lease with Commonwealth of Kentucky Department for Workplace Development. Be it resolved by the City of Maysville, Kentucky, that the mayor is hereby authorized and directed to execute a lease renewal agreement with the Commonwealth of Kentucky for Department of Workforce Investment, 201 Government Street, Maysville, Kentucky.
So moved.
second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes,
Commissioner Cartwell?
Commissioner?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes.
Mayor Cottrell?
Yes, ma'am. Resolution authorizing lease with the Commonwealth of Kentucky for the Department of Corrections, 24-83.
Resolution authorizing lease with Commonwealth of Kentucky Department of Corrections. Be it resolved by the City of Maysville, Kentucky, that the mayor is hereby authorized and directed to execute a lease renewal agreement with the Commonwealth of Kentucky Department of Corrections, 101 East 2nd Street, Maysville, Kentucky.
So moved.
second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes,
Commissioner Cartwell?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes.
Mayor Cottrell?
Yes, ma'am. Resolution authorizing contract with RCS Communications, 24-84.
Resolution authorizing contract with RCS Communications. Whereas the Communications Committee has recommended contracting with RCS Communications for communication equipment upgrades to our towers and for network device upgrades. And whereas the cost of the upgrades is $547,500, and per the current interlocal agreement between the City of Maysville and Mason County Fiscal Court, the city is responsible for 75% of the cost and the county is responsible for 25% of the cost. Now therefore be it resolved by the City of Maysville, Kentucky, that the mayor is hereby authorized and directed to execute all contractual documents necessary or appropriate to effectuate acceptance of said contract on behalf of the City of Maysville.
is this the, oh, we gotta have a motion. I'll make a motion just for discussion.
Second for discussion.
Sure. What you got?
Do we get a grant on it?
We have applied for 2 Kentucky Office of Homeland Security grants 2 years in a row for this and been denied both times to fund this.
Do they tell you why? I mean, do they just,
I can't, Chris, do you recall? Okay. We put it in twice with Buffalo Trace, who's assisted us on the grant applications.
no, do you do this every year?
This
We do
or
this-
apply, this project, or
yeah.
apply, oh, yeah, we apply every year for Homeland Security grants. Yeah, every year.
Yeah.
And how much are those when you apply?
It varies. I mean, we applied for the whole $547,550 and would have been tickled to get, half of it or a quarter of it. Yeah, but we didn't, we 2 years in a row.
I think $100,000 a year is getting pretty darn pricey.
David, we were paying 150, between the city and the county when we did the original project 8 years ago.
Well, it should have come down.
Well, you have to
The
think.
technology is.
Well, but you have to understand, phase one was paid for out of CMRS money.
Yeah.
That was about $130,000, so
Yeah.
that's already been taken care of. This is phase two and phase three.
And, Commissioner, did
Yes.
you all pass this on Tuesday for the county?
Yes, I heard from Owen, and he said, David, he said it didn't matter. They did, they passed it.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, fiscal court approved it.
all right.
So you're okay, is fiscal court, what you're saying, Joe, is okay with this resolution?
I could just, I don't wanna speak for Owen, since he's the county judge, but all I can do is just verify we did pass that as read,
Very good answer, young man. You may step down now.
Now, I will say this, though, my concern is that, with the interlocal agreement, the interlocal agreement states that for communications, the city pays 75% and the county pays 25%. Well, basically, the county is responsible for $50,000 right now through the interlocal agreement for our communications department. Well, when that was written, the communications budget was about $300,000. Now it's $1 million. So
How is that possible? Maybe that's a topic for the interlocal agreement.
it is. It is. So we've got to review these interlocals because, with all due respect to our good friends at the county, we are subsidizing services for county residents. City taxpayers are. If you look at 25% of $1 million budget, that's $250,000 a year. Now, you take the CMRS money off the top that we get annually, which is about $250,000. That reduces that 25% to $187,500. I had Chief Carpenter do some math on the ambulance runs, and currently the county pays us $6,250 a month for ambulance service, which is $75,000 a year. If you break down the percentage of runs that go to the county, right, hovers around 20%, right? That's actually
I
about.
would think it would have been higher.
That's actually about $280,000 a year. So 75,000 versus 200. And again, I love working with our county counterparts, but we've got to take a look at these interlocals, and I'm going to work with Judge McNeil, hopefully to get something scheduled early next year. To take a closer look at it.
The only alternative is if you all can't reach an agreement is that we pull out and form a new one, right?
Well, you can form a new one, or, with all due respect, the county could operate their own PSAP and their own ambulance service.
Well, who gets the money?
We would still get CMRS money because we're currently operating a public safety answering point. Now, they could operate one as well, and I'm assuming it would be split somehow.
But hopefully we can.
Yeah, I think we'll come to something. Yeah, we
reasonable-
always have. We'll come to an agreement. Oh, so we have a motion and a second. Do y'all have any other questions on this project? And again, the way this would work is we would pay 10% of the cost up front, and then the next payment isn't due until a year from then. So that does give us time to budget for this project.
So we've got a motion and a second, right?
So we paid 400, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're fine.
410,000 would be what we paid for 10.
Let me pull that back up.
It's 410,600.
Yeah, I gotta get my email back up, Commissioner, hold on. I didn't bring the paper, let's see. Yeah, it'd be, for us, if we did it, at a 4-year term, it'd be about $440,000 for the city.
You're saying that's at an interest.
Yes, correct. Correct.
And that's advertised over 4 years.
We can do it over 4, over 5. Obviously, if we do it over 5, our payments are lower, but we're gonna pay
You're gonna pay
about
more in interest.
$15,000 over the life of the loan, more in interest.
Yeah.
And we, something falls in our lap, we can pay it off early with no penalties.
Do we have that much problem with those communications on those towers?
You want
Are
to
they
talk about
working
that?
now?
The question was, do we have problems with communication on the towers? Either one of you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if we call RCS though, they come and correct the problem. But I think our equipment is so out of date from what I'm being told that I think they've made purchases on eBay to keep this system running. And I think the county's really had the most issue with it. And it's affected them quite a bit. But it all boils down to hardware and software needs updated.
And as I understand, Commissioner, the hardware that's purchased with this should last longer. It's the software. Think about your phone, how often you gotta upgrade the software. It's no different than this stuff here.
For the county protected. No, I'm just rattling.
You have more, Ann?
Mm.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes.
Commissioner Cardinal?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes.
Mayor Cottrell?
Yes, ma'am. Resolution authorizing application for TIP 411 grant 24-85.
Resolution authorizing the application for Buffalo Trace Agency for Substance Abuse Policy Grant. Be it resolved by the City of Maysville, Kentucky, that the mayor is hereby authorized and directed to execute an application for a Buffalo Trace Agency for Substance Abuse Policy Grant.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Cardinal?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes.
Mayor Cottrell?
Yes, ma'am. Resolution authorizing an assistant agreement with KIA for loan funds 24-86.
A resolution approving and authorizing an assistance agreement between the City of Maysville, Kentucky and the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority to provide up to $227,500 of loan funds for project number F24-065L. Whereas the Board of Commissioners, hereinafter the governing authority of the City of Maysville, Kentucky, hereinafter the borrower, has previously determined that it is in the public interest to acquire and construct certain facilities and improvements to the project to the borrower's water system, and whereas the borrower has made application to the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority, the authority, for the purpose of providing monies to construct the project, and whereas in order to obtain such monies, the borrower is required to enter into an assistance agreement with the authority, the assistance agreement. Now therefore be it resolved by the City of Maysville as follows. Section 1, that the governing authority hereby approves and authorizes the assistance agreement between the borrower and the authority regarding project number F21-065L substantially in the form on file with the borrower for the purpose of providing the necessary financing to the borrower for the project. Section 2, that the mayor and city clerk of the borrower be and hereby are authorized, directed, and empowered to execute necessary documents or agreements and to otherwise act on behalf of the borrower to effect such financing. Section 3, that this resolution shall take effect at the earliest time provided by law.
So moved.
Second for discussion. Is this this is an income-based loan?
No, it's free. It's a grant.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a grant. It's $227,000 grant for this project.
That's all?
Yeah, for the lead service line?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm. Yeah, it's all paid for.
All right.
Yeah.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes.
Commissioner Cardinal?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Cottrell?
Yes, ma'am. Is there anything else to come before this commission?
You gonna,
Yes, one announcement that I forgot to state was, there will be 2 public meetings held to relay updates on the Hayeswood Hospital Brownfield cleanup project, including current status and next steps, health and safety information, and to provide the community with an opportunity to ask questions. Representatives from Frontier Housing, Buffalo Trace Area Development District, Leinbach Funkhauser, Incorporated, Environmental Compliance and Consulting, and the Maysville Police Department will be in attendance to facilitate community discussion. City of Maysville is providing the space for the meeting. It will be held consecutively on Wednesday, December 18th, 2024, in this room right here. The first meeting will begin at 5:30 p.m. and provide general updates regarding the project. The second meeting will begin at 6 p.m. and will provide general information regarding general health and safety information as they may pertain to any brownfield sites.
Is that the same date you emailed us?
Yes, you should have that.
I've already got it on my calendar, I just wanted to.
Yeah, you should have that information.
Thank
Well,
If there's nothing else, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'm gonna make that motion to adjourn.
hold on. Yeah, well, hold on. Commissioner Brammer has a motion, I believe.
I'm gonna make a motion to adjourn to a closed session pursuant to KRS 61-810-1F for discussion which might lead to the dismissal of an individual employee.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes.
Commissioner Cartwell?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood?
No.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes.
Mayor Cottrell?
No.
too hot.
Good? Okay.
But I wasn't gonna turn it in, I stayed there another hour.
Make a motion to come out of closed session?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes.
Commissioner Cartwell?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes,
Mayor Cottrell?
Yes, ma'am. Anything else to come before this commission?
No, ma'am, I
Motion
do
to
not have
adjourn.
anything else.
C and D?
There you go.
Need a second?
Vic.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer?
Say yes.
Commissioner Brammer?
Hey.
Commissioner Cartwell?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Cottrell?
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all have a very Merry Christmas. And I'll get in touch tomorrow about, make sure everybody's good.